Hey everyone, I am here to tell you a little bit about spring. Spring is a very interesting time at the chiropractor's office because the weather is getting nicer and we see all of these people doing the same things that they did the week or the year before, making the same mistakes, and we want to help people transition from winter and ski season to spring and mountain biking, running, gardening season without needing too much chiropractic care and massage. So this is a gift to you to help make this transition smoother for you. So we're going to give you 3 tips to help prevent springtime injuries. And it comes down to 2 different principles that we talk about a lot here. And I want to outline this so you guys understand how you can care for yourself during this critical season. So we're going to do a little demonstration on a process called adaptation. And so whether you are doing a lot or little, you're feeding your body stimulus. And we always talk about doing the right amount, and the right amount we call the sweet spot. And here's what we've been seeing lately this week at COOR Wellness. We've had people doing gardening, they go to the driving range, they're hitting tons of bucket of balls, they're running more, they're biking more, and they went from 0 to 60 in 1 week's time. And they are passing a threshold and experiencing pain. Okay? Now, during the winter, if you didn't do anything and you just relaxed and watched movies and you weren't physically active, you were crossing another threshold and becoming a couch potato. Okay? And remember when I said, whether you do something or not, one way or another, you're feeding your body stimulus, and that stimulus has an influence on both of these thresholds. So if you're exercising on a consistent basis but not passing the pain threshold, what happens is your body adapts in a positive way and your thresholds go up. Now, if you consistently don't do much, your thresholds go down. So if you were inactive this winter, and all of a sudden you have a nice day out and you have a bunch of yard work and you do a bunch, you will pass into that pain threshold. And so that's one concept that we talk about a lot here, and you need to do the right amount. So the other concept we want to talk about is the mechanical stress equation, or the quantification of mechanical stress. We'll just call it activity. You can also call it stress. Now this is an algebraic equation, and it's the easiest thing to think about in runners, but you can apply these principles to any type of activity, whether it be yard work or cycling or mountain biking or hiking. All of those follow the same principles when it comes to your soft tissues. So if we have the different variables that lead to the physical stress on your body, we have time. So how long you go for a hike, bike ride, or spending time on your feet, gardening, distance, rate, or load. And then there's one key one at the very end, and we call that a variation or change in activity. Okay, this is a delta sign, that means change. Of all of these, the one that influences the amount of stress you have physically is this one. So anytime you change an activity, whether you go from skiing to gardening, skiing to running, skiing to whatever you're doing through the winter, and now you're transitioning to spring, you have to respect how the change in activity is what is most stressful on your soft tissues. So, if you're used to skiing all day and you go for a bike ride and you got sore and the time frame was the same, you spent the same amount of time doing the activity, we know it wasn't time, it was the change in activity. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that rest can help decrease that. So if you remember from algebra, if rest goes up and it's underneath this, the stress goes down. So keep that in mind. But when you're planning your runs, rides, hikes, gardening, yard work, please respect this. Change this into bite-sized pieces, and you won't have the amount of physical stress that leads you to needing excessive chiropractic care or massage or those types of things. So we are going to break down the 3 tips to make sure you stay pain-free in this spring transition. And one of them is don't stretch or don't overstretch. We want you to warm up. So make sure you're getting your heart rate up a little bit before you really push it. The other one is rest. Make sure you rest or break your training sessions or your yard work or gardening into little bite-sized pieces. And then the last one is asking for help, whether it be the neighborhood kid who can help you with your yard work or your lawn or your gardening. Because one way or another, you're going to hire help, whether it be the chiropractor, the massage therapist, or the landscaper, or the neighborhood kid who's going to help with the lawn. One way or another, you're going to hire help, and we just want you to consider what you could have done around your house so that you don't need excessive treatment and you're not in pain. So that's our message to you this spring. Hope you find it well. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and let us know, and we'll talk to you soon.